Support for this podcast comes from listeners and St. Alphonsus Health System, a regional network of hospitals, clinics, and care providers. St. Alphonsus offers comprehensive healthcare services to individuals and families throughout the community. More information about services and locations is available at stalphonsus.org.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's daily news. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. Well, here we are. This is expected to be the busiest travel day of the year. We've got you covered. We'll check in with AAA Idaho on how the roads are doing. And we have a story on an increase in reported illness associated with raw milk. It is Wednesday, the 26th of November. Here we go with today's stories. The trial for 3 men accused of forcibly removing a woman from a political town hall event in Coeur d'Alene last winter is on schedule for next month. James Dawson has this update.
The Coeur d'Alene Press reports the men asked the judge to drop the misdemeanor charges on Monday because they were following directions from Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris. Video shows Norris telling Teresa Borenpol to leave after she repeatedly shouted comments during the event. The men who worked as private security guards took Borenpol out of her seat and removed her from the town hall.
Sheriff Norris, this gentleman is assaulting me!
You out
this
now!
Man is assaulting
you out
me!
now! Let's go!
This man is assaulting me!
First District Court Judge Maylee Walsh says the state Supreme Court wants juries to decide these kinds of factual matters, not judges. Earlier this month, the Idaho Attorney General's office declined to charge Sheriff Norris with battery. It said he was acting within the scope of his duties and that Borenpol didn't have a First Amendment right to interrupt the event. A 2-day trial is set for December 15th. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
How their communities grow and how they appear to be moving in opposite directions continues to play out between the city of McCall and Valley County commissioners. Commissioners recently overhauled administrative rules that will change the McCall impact area effective January 1st. Now, McCall officials say they're not pleased with proposed changes to the code plus the Valley County Comprehensive Plan. McCall Community and Economic Development Director Michelle Grunewald says her city has penned a letter expressing their concerns.
It really isn't a forward-looking document, doesn't have a vision statement. It's kind of a holdover from, I think, the 1970s and rural places that didn't really face a lot of growth or development pressures. And it works if you have large landowners who don't plan on doing anything with their properties.
And depending on who you heard from on the McCall City Council late last week, they pretty much agreed to disagree. Here are McCall Councilman Lyle Nelson and Colby Nielsen.
He calls out the specific areas of shortcomings in a respectful manner.
I don't share the same feeling of respect. I feel like we were shown a great deal of disrespect. So it's nice that you can provide a respectful comment for us because I don't think they deserve it.
McCall Mayor Bob Giles says he'll represent the city and voice their concerns at a December 1st hearing before the Valley County Commission. The State Department of Health and Welfare is reporting an increase in reported illness associated with raw milk. Since late summer, there have been nearly 24 cases of Campylobacter, including 6 children, plus reports of E. coli infections, all linked to the consumption of raw milk. And at least 2 of the cases involving children have required hospitalizations. Health officials remind us of possible health risks linked to raw, unpasteurized dairy products, especially for vulnerable populations, young children, pregnant women, the elderly, and those who are immunocompromised. If you're driving today or flying somewhere, you'll have plenty of company on this day, believed to be the busiest travel day of the year. Matthew Condi is with AAA Idaho.
So we're talking about 478,000 Idahoans and overall 1.6 million more people nationwide than just a year ago. So you reach a certain point where saying that it's a record is getting redundant around here. Pretty much every major holiday has seen just the doors blown off by people who are ready to get out there, hitting the road and going to the airport.
As far as traveling this Thanksgiving, the price of holiday cruising, that's up. But Condi says the overall cost of travel this particular Thanksgiving isn't too bad.
Now, unless you're on a cruise ship this year, you're probably not going to have very much sticker shock. The domestic flights are about 1% more expensive, barely noticeable. But actually, the domestic hotels, on average, they're 3% cheaper than a year ago. There are some savings to be had in those areas, and that may make the trip just a little bit more affordable for some.
And if you're traveling by car, the AAA says the average price for a gallon of unleaded this morning in Idaho is $3.27. Some of the highest prices being reported in Blaine, Boise, Fremont, Shoshone, Teton, and Valley counties. Some of the cheapest prices reported in Clearwater, Lewis, and Nez Perce counties. And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice, and among the things that I'm thankful for, well, you, for making The Connector part of your routine. Tell your friends and family about it and how they can find wherever they find their favorite podcasts. For now, from me to you, happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for listening.
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. The horses away to carry the sleigh full of wine and drift.
Gemma, isn't that a song from one of my very favorite Peanut specials?
Yeah, George, it is. It's from a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Now, remember, this is where the gang takes a trip to have Thanksgiving dinner with Charlie's grandma.
It's a lot like so many folks in Idaho who travel to see family during Thanksgiving or the Christmas holiday.
So, George, if you're traveling this holiday season around Idaho, keep your eyes open for possible stories for our Idaho 44 series.
That's right. You're gathering stories from all of Idaho's 44 counties.
Just remember, folks, if you're traveling over the holidays and maybe you see a story idea somewhere, send us a quick email. Just go to idahomatters@boisestate.edu.
And can it be any kind of story?
It can be anything.
So cool. Can I tell you, I just love Charlie Brown.
I mean, who doesn't, George?
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. The horses away to carry the sleigh full of wine and drift through snow. Over the river and through the woods, oh how the wind blows. It stings the toes and bites the nose. Over the ground we go.